important. So a guy, we have him as an educator now, Davion. He, from the time he started, he just was disciplined, listening to everything me and Kieran would tell him, put it to practice. Watch the videos as much things as he needed so he would understand the information and take the information and just put it to practice. He had discipline even before he started trading. So it just translated into his trading. And in his first week, he was doing his demo free account for like a week or two, all right, practicing his analysis on the charts. He started his live account with just $50, and within a week or two, he had $600. All right, just because he stuck to his rules, he stuck to what he learned, and he was able to see success very quickly. All right, and I believe a lot of persons, if they have that same discipline, they could see success just as quick as him or quicker, right? But it's very personal. It depends on you. All right. So I don't know if anybody would like to share the why you interested in trading. All right. I know a lot of people just be shy. A lot of people don't want to talk, but anybody at all, you're free to unmute your mic and share. It don't gotta be anything fancy. If you're just in it to make money, if you're in it to help build something for your family, whatever the case.
Hi, good morning, Kumar.
Hey, morning, Danny.
Kumar.
Yeah,
Hi, how are you doing?
I am great. What about yourself?
I'm good. My wife is really quick.
Mhm.
Is my son.
Okay.
Everybody knows that children are quite expensive,
Mhm.
and I want him to have the life that I didn't have. We're not to spoil him, but education wise, and even after education, and God forbid, you know, I don't know. I don't live to see XYZ. I
Mhm.
want to be able to make sure set and want to leave a legacy or even create a legacy, especially for him and his children, and possibly their children as well. So
Right.
my way is quite simple. Is my
Mhm.
son.
Okay, that's lovely. That's lovely, Daniel. All right, and a lot of people start this looking to build our legacy, start to build our wealth, and raise the children on the right path, right? So that's a very strong way. And you know, a mother can do anything possible to help the children. All right. So good job, Danielle. Um,
Yeah, morning, Kumar. You hear me?
yeah, Roger.
Um, my why basically is that to have another set of income. Well, I'm not sure if it applies for most people inside the group, but
Hmm.
because of Corona, I am at home. I was at home now for the last 2 months. So, at some point in time, the NS may run out, and it is that I don't want to be home with bills that I can't pay and stuff like that. So, I just took the opportunity that you afforded to come and learn this skill that I have seen people benefit from, and I just want to give it a try, see if it is that it is a valuable outlet for me to gain some income.
All right, that's good as well. All right, and also struggle, beautiful things can be created, right? So although you might not have a job now, we got a lot of full-time traders in the world. All right, you may
Yeah,
pick up another side job and still be doing trading as well and continue to grow. So that's a real good way too. You gotta survive, right?
yeah, you have to.
All right. So anybody else? Anybody else? All right. I can just go on. All right. So we had two good examples of your way. So what I would like persons to do even before they start the journey is to write down our way. Right? Right now, why let that be your focus. And of course, this way can be important to you. It don't matter what anybody else think. It don't matter what anybody else situation is personal. The journey will be personal, and that way is gonna fuel you throughout the journey. All right. Every time you think of stopping, personally, what I did was that I believe that if somebody else could do something, I could get done as well. Right? And trading is one of those things. I saw people achieving success, and I knew the potential it had. Even if I just took my time and went at it slow, right? Try not to rush it. Try not to approach it like I get rich quick, and be in it for the education and the learning, and then grow from there. Right? A lot of people just come into it for the money and the outcome, but the process is very important in trading, right? Your process, although you're focusing on that overall goal, if you don't have, I call them process goals. You the income is hard to attain, all right? So if you don't have a good routine, if you don't do something daily, um, you're not gonna achieve the same success as a person who is doing it daily. If you do it every week or once a week, twice a week, you're gonna achieve success slowly. But if you really want to see success, you gotta be disciplined and focus on it. Even if it's like 30 minutes an hour out to your day, all right? Um, give me a minute. All right? Yeah. If you if you do not just be consistent with it, you you can struggle. And I would like everybody to focus on setting a routine, starting with yourself. Roger, you might got more time than others. Some people won't be working, whatever the case may be. But set some time to put in the practice in trading, learn something every day, right? About trading, analyze, whatever the case may be. All right. So I can just start to explain Forex already. Anybody could give me a definition. What is Forex? Anybody? You want to make it interactive and keep people away. Just a brief definition. You ain't gotta be exact.
So, hi, Daniel again.
Hey.
Is foreign currency, basically exchanging um, different currency pairs,
Mhm.
and making money from it.
All right. All right. So that's a good job, Daniel. All right. And you pretty much summed it up. Forex, foreign exchange trading. All right. You trade one currency for next on the foreign exchange market. All right. The foreign exchange market is $1 trillion market. So there's a lot of money to go around, right? And we just want our little piece of the pie. You get what I mean? Um, a lot of people may be wondering about like COVID and all these protests, and I can assure you that during all of that, some people lost their jobs, whatever the case may be, but the foreign exchange market was still operating. People were still making money from foreign exchange trading. All right. So I don't see foreign exchange trading stopping just like that. If COVID didn't stop it, if these protests are not stopping it, the world got to end for this thing to stop. And that's something I believe. So I don't even be studying a lot of the negativity that's going on because personally it's not impacting me. A guy has showed me asking me well my views, whatever. I got my views and stuff, but my focus is not there. It all over the news, all this negativity, but I focusing on my goals for now. I will talk about it for a little bit, but overall, it's not affecting me per se. It might sound harsh, it might sound rough, But yeah, that's what it is. So foreign exchange trading, yeah, exchanging one currency for another. And how we profit from foreign exchange trading is that if the market is going up, if the market is going down, once we enter a trade in the direction that the market is moving, we make money on that move. So if you enter a sell on a particular pair and the market starts to head down, you make money. You make money from wherever you entered to wherever you decide to close the trade as it continues to go down. And the inverse is true. So if the market is going up, you did your analysis and you enter a buy and it continues to go up, you make money. All right, it's very different to the stock market where stocks mainly trend up. So stocks will be trending up for a while, and a lot of persons will profit from the stock going up. It's very hard to sell in the stock market or short in the stock market, but with forex trading, you can make money going up and going down. All right. Any questions so far? Anybody? All right, no questions. All right. So, how do we get started on this journey? The first steps is to create a demo account, right? A lot of persons, we all beginners here, and you're ready to put your money at risk per se. You want to get a fee for it. You want to try it out, see if you could gain success, see the potential in putting your money to work through foreign exchange. All right. So one of the main things the beginners we would do for the first week or two is to start a demo trading account, get you into the right habits, start to put you to practice the skill. All right. You're not gonna put any money at risk. You know, I'm gonna pay us for this for the mentorship for the month. So you basically ain't losing nothing but time. And I wouldn't even say you're losing anything because you're investing your time to learn something that could help you gain an income. All right. So the first time I would have started trading was right after I got laid off in 2017 in November. My contract was ended, and I knew it was ending. So when I knew this, I just started research and look for other job. But I found out about trading, and I was interested in it from before. So I said, why not? Let me give it a try. I got some savings and get some NAS money. So let me give this thing a try. I was always interested. I got an accounting background. I good with numbers. Why not? All right. Unfortunately for me, I thought I would be a natural. All right. So I started a risk from early in my journey, and I went through my losses. I went through a lot of losses, but I continued and I learned from those losses, and I just chipped away at it. All right. Persons that don't know me, I play hockey for Barbados. So one of the things I would tell persons is before you even start, think about anything in your life that you have been successful at. All right. Think about how you came and acquired this success at this thing. For me, it was hockey. And I was playing hockey. At that time, I was playing hockey for like 10 years or over 10 years. But I still would think back and think, well, why am I successful at hockey? What steps did I took to become successful at hockey and to reach being a national athlete? All right. And honestly, it was a lot of practice. I wasn't a natural, I was chubby, whatever. So it was hard for me. I wasn't good at the start, but I just kept going because I love the sport. I found a love for the sport, although I wasn't a natural. So even for persons that may not be analytical or may not have a math background, all right, you can still see success. You might not be a natural, but through practice, right, and practicing the good habit, you are going to see success. And I'm sure of that, right? And that's why, especially me and Kieran, are here for you guys. So we're gonna give you guys really all the steps you gotta take. We're gonna break it down, all the habits you gotta try to implement to see success. And really and truly, we don't we don't hold back our mouths per se, cause especially me, because on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever the case may be, a lot of people does try to sweeten it up, try to tell people, well, you can make this money fast, bum bum bum. Try to show you how much money you can make and thing, but they don't tell you really the difficult parts of the journey. Right? They don't tell you how hard it could be. Obviously, they want you to come and sign up and stuff like that, but a lot of people don't really keep it real. And trust and believe that me and Karen are gonna keep it real, right? And yeah, to make money, you gotta be coachable. You gotta be listening to us. You gotta be consistent with it. It's all right. You could stop and then start back, all right? But as long as you starting, as long as your focus is there, try to put it in every day. That's a big part of it, and you will see success. All right. I hope you guys taking notes. I could be talking fast, but just jot down points. Right. And that's another key thing. You gotta take notes. People, a lot of you guys probably just hop on and listening, but in all these classes, if you don't take notes, you can forget a lot of stuff. You can miss a lot of stuff. You can want to become, you want to come back and ask me and Karen a lot of things. But once you got your notepad, you just gotta peek back, and that's gonna help you. That's going to help you. All right. So make sure going forward, if you didn't have it now, you have your notebook all the time, and you taking notes every session. All right. So one of the main reasons that me and Karen started this whole academy is to help people for free, no charge. If you see value, you could continue to roll with us. You could even find somebody else. But I could assure you that it's totally worth it. All right. Anyone have any questions at all? Anything? Nobody got the questions? Nobody want to know how much money I just met? Nobody don't want to know if I just get money kind of my bank account? Nothing? How much money I lose in this 2 years? Nobody? Anything? I know somebody got a question.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
you could tell us how it is that you um go through the levels of making more significant income in a sense. So like, okay, you was talking about the guy he started with a investment of $50 and then he made $600. Is that something that I would see as a weekly, let me say like stipend or something like that, or it is that I go through the gear. So like $600 for him was like in his third month, and then from there he kept on gaining income or stuff like that.
Okay. So the process from that aspect is that he would start with $50 on his account,
Hmm.
right? And he would take it trade by trade and build the account. All right. So he would risk, let me say, a portion of that $50, and he would successfully gain $1. Right? Trade by
On one
trade.
trade.
Yeah, from one trade. All right. Could be $2, $3, depending on how much you choose to risk. As beginners, you want to risk start with a low risk. Right? You don't want
Which
to.
is what kind of figure, like $5? Well, how is the currency balance in trading? in
Okay.
a sense. So like you say a low risk. Is my low risk $1 or is it a $10 or what? What's the case? How is the money gauge in trading?
All right. So in trading, the risk we would tell persons is generally 1 to 3% of your account. All right.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
1 to 3% of your account per
Oh,
trade. All right. So when you enter a trade, you only generally want to risk up to 3%. You can risk more. It depends a lot on your risk appetite. Right. Many times I have risked more. I have risked a lot more because I was indisciplined. I was an impulsive person, and sometimes when you risk more, the reward can be greater. All right, but again, is it sustainable? All right, and for me, I would say that yes, you could start with a small account and build it to $600, but what I would like persons to focus on doing is use that small account as your practice account to practice good habits. All right. And with trading, how it works, you can start with a small account and build it up. But the next way is that you can have a big account, throw on 500 US, throw on 1,000 US, something like that. And when you feel comfortable and confident, you could risk that money, use a low risk. 1% of $500 is what, Roger?
how much percent of $500?
1%. I don't want to put you on the spot, but as you're here,
They carry you playing for a smart $5.
okay, $5, right?
Yeah,
And you're risking $5 on every trade, right? And if you're managing this risk properly, you may risk that $5 and you may risk it for 15. And that's one trade. You might
yeah,
trade 5 times a day and you might win all five. You might win 50 US a day. 50 US a day every day. That's enough that you can live on if you live in a humble life, right? If
true.
it's just you, that's somebody paycheck. Right? Somebody working at a gas station making that money, and you sitting at home on your computer, you're making that money too. And you could continue to build from there.
Mm,
All right.
right.
Yeah. So it's about building those good habits, starting with a small account, risking a little bit, and just trying to build the account. So what he did, he just started small, low risk, and he just chip away, enter trade by trade. Sometimes he may enter two on 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 one trade, two trades at a time on one particular pair. So different strategies, different techniques you could apply, but just take it slow, trade by trade, and build up his account. So that's what he did. As your account starts to grow, you would then risk more. All right. So that's why he said that after you gain the right habits and you see a success on a $50 account, if you could do it with 50, you could do it with 500 or you could do it with 5,000 and see more rewards by risking less of your account because you only risking between 1 to 3%. If you have a small account, you will always be tempted to risk more because you're going to be seeing 50 cents, 75 cents, a dollar. If you follow in proper risk management, that's what you're going to be seeing. And for a lot of persons, that may not seem like it's worth it, but it's the concept behind it that really matters. When you get to a level where you're comfortable and you will look to invest more, you will surely gain more. All right, that's for persons that may have money saved up and may just be looking for investment, looking for a way to put the money to work. They don't want to go and buy shoes or buy clothes and try to open a store online and sell. They may be looking for something else. Trading will be that something else for persons that are on this call. All right. but is really getting the good habits in, understanding how it works, applying a strategy before you look to invest a huge set of money and end up losing it. Because nobody want to lose money in these times. All right. So that helps you, Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Anybody else? Anyone else? Any questions? All right. So Davion will be on the call shortly. So he will come and share a little bit of how his journey was when he started and how he would have built his account. All right. But until then, I will move on. So some resources you guys could use if you have not did any research as yet. Babypips.com is a free website. A lot of free information on there. If you want to do some reading, some extra reading, you're free to do so. But me and Karen will share a lot of the information and basically summarize it and fast track you on your journey. You can basically cut down a lot of the time you can spend learning things that you will not know to implement. We can give you it directly stuff, a lot of the stuff you need to know to get cracking and really make this month worthwhile. All right, so Baby Pips is one resource. You guys, I can just pull it up. All right, Baby Pips is a good resource. All right, and a lot of persons that are looking to learn about trading, I would just send them here. There's a lot of reading. It could be a bit tedious, but a lot of information is on here. What is Forex? Basics. Brokers. Now, a broker, this is basically your online bank per se. You would send your money to the brokers and they would hold your money on your trading account and process the trades for you as well. So when you enter trade, it runs through the server that's connected to your broker and you are able to trade your money through that particular broker. All right, the brokers that I would recommend are Pepperstone and IC Markets. All right, so with these brokers, I have found that the withdrawals and the deposits are smooth. Once you have, for me, I realized First Caribbean is the bank that wouldn't stop you from doing trading transactions for now, but a lot of the other banks have limited persons looking to trade, like RBC. I was with RBC, but they started to stop my transactions. But First Caribbean allows the transactions. So I recommend a lot of persons at least open a direct banking account, which has no fees. It's just a checking account. Mainly online transactions are allowed, and you could use your First Caribbean account to when you're looking to fund your trading account. But until then, Pepperstone and IC Markets, you could sign up with them and open a demo account. You could research the brokers if you want before you sign up, but we have been using them for a while, so I would vouch for both of those brokers. Another one that I use is Blueberry Markets, just to give you a third option. All right, so brokers, hopefully Karen will run through how to create a broker account with you guys. If not today, on another session this week, to run through the steps to create the broker account and the live account as well. Now, when you're creating your live account, just a heads up, you will need to provide the same sort of information if you're going to create a bank account with a bank. So proof of ID, proof of address, and a bank statement. All right, you're gonna have to scan them and upload them to the broker website. I use Adobe Scan to download the app on your phone, and that's how, if you don't have a scan at home, you could just hold the phone over the document, and it will take the scan, you will crop it, and then you could save and upload. So that's a very handy tool I use for scanning all of my documents, quick and easy. My ID cards, whatever the case may be. All right. So Davion said he was on. Karen is on as well. All right, Davion.
Hey, morning, everybody. Morning.
Yes, morning, sir. How are you doing?
Cool, man. What yourself?
Yeah, I read. I read. All right. So I was telling him a little bit about yourself and your journey, right? And especially about the disciplined approach you would have took to trading and how you would have seen success quickly based on that alone. So you could probably just share a little bit and yeah, tell people a little bit about yourself and your journey so far.
All right. Again, morning. I would have started trading not too long ago. Um, but before I started, I actually thought it was a scam. Like it was a way they met people put money in other people's pocket just because they thought it was to be marketed and stuff. But then I started working with Karen first, and then Karen actually showed me that it's actually a very profitable way of making money. And then she showed me the ins and out. And then what really cemented it for me, is when Kamar came along and worked with me also. And Kamar and Karen was very close, and they both was good at trading. So then I realized that, well, yeah, trading is actually a thing. So I stuck close. So now me and Karen and Kamar, we best of friends. And in terms of building account and being, I say, I don't want to say, we build an account. But with trading, you gotta know that you're gonna get losses. You ain't gonna win everything. But it's how much you're willing to lose. Your risk management. That's the first step. So when I first started, I didn't concentrate on how much I gonna win. I was always concentrate on how much I gonna lose. So if I realize that I could lose a lot of money on a certain setup, I ain't taking it. Like first thing you gotta put your mindset up. Don't focus on what the win is first, focus on what you lost on the different day. Also, when you do lose, don't study it. But when you study it is like a lot of decisions that you may lose more money. So don't study when you lost, know how much you lost. I think first two things that you should take into consideration. Also, well, be disciplined. Not everything you see that look good, or when we get further down in class, you will see that Karen takes signals, or may take signals. I'm not sure she's still doing it, but not every signal that you have to take. If you know your account is say $20, and Karen saying about 4 or 5 signals, look on the charts, analyze them, and see which one, in your opinion, looks best to you. You don't have to take all. And don't risk too much. Start small and build compound. I started with $50. No, $30. Sorry. 25 US $50 Beijing. In a week's time, it was at 60, either 50 or 60. 2 weeks time, that was at 60 to 120. And time, like, when I actually tell Kamar and Karen, they couldn't believe it, but I was at $300. And I did all that with the smallest lot size, as well as got Karen repeating it all the time. So you don't have to go big and want to get everything one thing. You take key is to master the skill and then build. But they say ain't got ups and downs, but don't give up. Yeah, so that's basically it. Any questions for anybody?
All right, I guess somebody got the questions.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys got some tips on what you need to focus on, especially starting the journey, right? Your risk management, managing the risk, focusing on how much you're losing more than how much you can gain, because that's very important. Along with the discipline, risk management is one of the next key things that you need to be successful. All right, outside of that, you need the knowledge, and we have all the knowledge, and we are going to pour it into you and support you as best as possible. All right, Karen is now on the call. Karen, Coach Care.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
And not too bad. What about yourself?
I bless.
Good.
All right, so guys, I will be handing over to Karen now, and she will continue the rest of the segment.
All right, perfect. So, Kamar, you want to make me co-host?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to say welcome to Forest Care Academy. Um, I assume that Kamar, you would have went through a brief run through of FCA, the educators that we have here on board with us. And the whole idea behind FCA is to educate, build, and empower you, right? The reason why, well, starting with Kamar and myself, the reason why we came up with this idea is to offer persons, mentorship. And I think that is key for learning, especially something that you probably have no idea about, you've never seen in your life, right? And I know that it is I know that it can be challenging in terms of conquering the skill set, right? So we decided to start as basically to hold persons' hands in the process of learning. The whole idea is to guide you and be with you every step of the way. Some of the things that we tend to provide, once you advance from beginners, we tend to put persons into smaller groups. Obviously, you'll be a part of the bigger group, but put persons into smaller groups of 4 or 5 people as an accountability group, right? And the reason for that is I usually tend to keep the classes and the sessions interactive, where we would send out, weekly or bi-weekly assignments. And, I ask persons basically to work together in these groups to, produce the result, produce the work. And the feedback that I have gotten from that is that, persons love it, because not only do you network with people, but also, it allows you to build accountability partners. It allows you to mingle with persons who are on your same level, educational level, right? And you guys work together, you brainstorm it, and and we all come up basically achieving more or less the same goal. So today, the idea was to run a boot camp. Myself and Kamar, we want to pour a lot into the beginners this month, so that we can help you guys advance, but also to really understand, all of what I call the loopholes of trading first before we get to advance, right? Um, so just as a brief um, definition of Forex for you guys, right? Forex basically is you trading currency pairs, right? It's the most traded currency pairs in the world that we usually tend to focus on. Most traded currency pairs would be the US dollar, Great Britain pound, the euro, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, and Japanese yen. So I'm gonna just repeat that. Most traded currencies in the world, the US dollar, the pound, the euro, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, and Japanese yen. Right? So hopefully no one is on the call just trying to take brain notes. For this level of education, you definitely need to take notes. You definitely need to have a book dedicated for Forex education in order to take notes, right? In order to take notes so that you can always refer to them at a later date, right? No. So we just mentioned the 7 most traded currencies in the world. We talked about the US dollar. We talked about Euro, GBP, AUD, and ZD. Canadian, Swiss franc, and Japanese yen. Right? Well, 8 if we add in the US dollar. So majority of these currencies should be familiar for most of you, especially the US dollar, euro, and Great Britain pound. All right. And all of these currencies basically come from developed countries, right? So what makes a Forex pair is you taking 2 currencies and merging them into one, right? Why would you need to do that? Because even though when you're traveling or you have foreign currency, you always exchange it for either, for another currency basically. So foreign currency is always basically in exchange. And the reason why Forex currencies are paired together to call a Forex pair is to exchange one currency for the next, right? So, for example, the most traded pair in Forex is the Euro USD. Right? Now, on the left where you have the euro is usually the base pair, right? So on the left is the base and on the right is the quote, right? So on the left is the base and on the right is the quote, right? And the reason why the euro is in front of the US dollar in this case is because the euro is worth more than the US dollar, right? So just to explain it to you, the way how the Forex currencies are paired is also based on strength, the strength of the currency. So it's very rare in our lifetime that you would see US dollar euro. Right? So it is paired Euro USD. And what it really means is that you have euros and we exchanging them for the US dollar. Right? So remember that the left is the base pair and the right is the quote pair. Right? So what I am going to do is put these 8 currencies into 7 pairs, right? And these 7 pairs make up the 7 major forex pairs. So if you ever had to go onto any website, any educational content, including YouTube, and you ever had to hear anyone mention majors or what is a forex major, right? There are 7 major currencies, right? So it's Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, right? And then it goes into USD CAD, USD CHF, which is Swiss franc, and USD Japanese yen, right? So there are 7 major currencies. What makes it a major currency, right, is that there are really 7, there are 7 the most traded currencies in the world. There are actually 7 of them paired with the US dollar, right? So it's paired with the US dollar. So all you're doing is taking the most traded currencies in the world and pairing it with the US dollar, right? Makes it a major currency, right? So that's how we end up at 7 majors. 7 majors. So I just want you guys to make note of that, right? I'm gonna remove this bit here. And you have 7 major currencies. Right. So from the 7 major currencies, right, we go into 21 minor currency pairs, right? Now, what is a minor currency? So the minors are basically the 7 most traded currencies in the world paired with each other, excluding the US dollar, right? So all you're doing in a case like this is removing the US dollar and pairing the currencies together, right? So this is how it works. 21 minor currencies, 21 minor pairs. Let's change this up here to 21, 7 major pairs. All right, so the 21 minors, I'm just going to list a few of them for now, and then we will run through them at a later date, right? But there are 21 of them. And the way it goes is Euro GBP, Euro AUD, right? Euro NZD, Euro CAD, Euro Chef, Euro Japanese yen. Right? So this is to give you an example of what I mean by the currencies being paired with each other. Right? Now, going back to what I was talking about with the strength of the currencies, right? And why certain currencies of the other. Same thing applies here with the major pairs. So with the major pairs, let's look back at the major pairs. We have Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, NZ USD. And for those of you who are familiar with rates, right, currency rates, when you're going to exchange it, your currency, you should know. If you don't, then I'm going to pull up the rate board shortly. But you should know that the euro obviously is more than the US dollar, GBP is more than the US dollar, AUD is more than the US dollar, and NZD is more than the US dollar, right? Now, when we get to USD CAD, especially for those of you here in Barbados, we know, okay, Barbados is roughly like, you know, market value, $1.98 to the US dollar, right? For the Canadian dollar, roughly $1.50, right? So there and then you can tell that obviously the US dollar is higher in value than the Canadian dollar. So hence why in this case you have USD in front of Canadian dollar, right? Same thing for Swiss franc, same thing for Japanese yen. So they were in order of strength, right? And the minor pairs work the same way as well. Because with the minor pairs, right, what's happening is that the euro is worth more than the quote pairs that we have here. So the euro is worth more than the Great Britain pound, is worth more than the AUD, NZD, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and Japanese yen. So euro would always be in front of these, right? And Great Britain pound, all you have to do is when you are making note of the minors, you're just coming down the line, but you're never going to go back up, right? So you're just going to come down. So for example, GBP will now be GBP AUD, GBP NZD, GBP, well, we already know we have GBP US dollar. So GBP CAD, GBP Chef, and GBP JPY, right? So you're just coming down the line. When you get to AUD, it's the same thing. You're coming down the line again, right? So it'll be AUD NZD, AUD CAD, AUD Chef, AUD JPY. Same thing for NZD. Right? And then when you get to CAD, notice that we don't have many pairs to play with after, but when you get to CAD, you will do CAD Chef and CAD JPY. When you get to Chef, you're doing Chef JPY. And then there's nothing for JPY itself. Right? So that's basically how the 21 minor pairs work. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity. I'm just going to pause here to give you guys the opportunity to complete that list. So I'm just going to repeat it again. Is GBP, and you're coming down the line, GBP AUD, GBP NZD, GBP CAD, GBP Chef, and GBP JPY. Then you come down to AUD, AUD NZD, AUD CAD, AUD Chef, AUD JPY. All right? NZD, all you're doing is you're coming down the line. When you get to JPY, JPY has nothing behind it because there's nothing below USD JPY, right? And Chef only has JPY. So you will have the Chef JPY with it. Right? So just gonna give you guys about 2 minutes or so just to finish, write that information in your notebook so that you can have an idea of what are the 7 major pairs and the 21 minor pairs. Right, so everyone has that. Just type in the chat box once you have completed the list. Any questions, feel free to type it in the chat box as well. All right, so just give me 2 seconds. Let me send out a signal for the rest of the team, and then we're gonna continue. And this will also allow you guys to see the format of how we send out signals as well. Because everybody should be in the academy. All right, so assuming that everyone is done, saw majority of the person said that they've completed. And just give me 2 seconds, let me finish this signal. Can't talk no fam. Good. So thank you for that time to send out that signal. Right, so now that we've completed the list, what you should have now is 7 major pairs, 21 major pairs as well. Right now, usually these are the pairs that we will be trading on a daily basis, right? The beauty about having so many pairs, right, 28 of them, is that everything is not going to give you a setup every week, right? Some weeks you probably may only have 4 setups from 4 pairs. Some weeks you may have 6, some weeks you might have 10. Of it is that there's an opportunity in a pair, and that is important for you to know, because I find too, you know, being in the forex market and being a coach for the last 3 years, I also do this as well. Huh? When we're bet on a particular setup on a currency pair, right? And we're looking for this to buy because the buy is going to be sweet and it's going to go, you know, it's going to pay us out a lot and stuff like that. We tend to hold on to it. And when it doesn't play out or it hits our stop loss, then we feel really bad about it, right? And, you know, and then at that point in time, you might find persons even saying, you know what, I don't think this for me, or, you know, I ain't trading for the rest of the week, and all kinds of people tend to say, right? But what we tend to forget as well is that if you lose on one pair, another pair is setting up for you. If you lose on one setup, another pair is setting up, right? And that's important for you guys. I want you guys as well to know that you know, yes, trading can be emotional, but try to remove a lot of the emotion from it and more apply strategy, right? So I'm going to repeat that again. Trading can be emotional, but try to remove a lot of the emotion from it and apply strategy. Right? I want you guys to write that down in your book, because trust me, there's going to come a point in time you're going to have to look back at what I just said. Right? Trading can be emotional, but I want you to remove the emotion from it and apply strategy.
Trust and believe that I got that on a sticky right in front of my computer. Trust and believe that.
Yep. So, I mean, I'm being very transparent with you guys. Last week was not a profitable week for me, right? We started off the week with some setups that, you know, had looked really promising. We knew that, you know, if they played out, they were going to pay us out, all of us, right? And we held on to these setups. And, you know, as you watch, even when you watch psychology videos, right? You would often hear persons saying, you know what, cut a losing trade, but hold on to a winning trade. You'll find that, especially as a coach, and I'm speaking from experience, we tend to hold on to losing trades, but cut winning trades. We actually do the opposite, right? Because for us, we probably in the trade so deep, or we know that it's gonna pay out so much money that we man, this can turn around, man. I can hold out, I can wait this stock to turn around. But I can be honest with you right now, the market doesn't have to do anything.
No, like you start carrying, but this is wake up about the saying, like focus on how much you can lose and not what you can make. Because again, if you think how much you can make, we ain't seeing else out there playing out.
Exactly, guys. Right? So really and truly, right? I want you guys to also make a note saying, cut your losses, but keep your winning trades. Cut your losing trades, but keep your winning trades. Right? So, like I said last week.
One more time again, Coach Gary.
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat what you said one more time?
Cut your losing trades, but keep your winning trades.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So last week, like I said, we were holding on to pairs that I can be honest, was killing my account, right? And lo and behold, the market have presented other opportunities on other pairs that really played out beautifully, right? But I held drawdown on top of drawdown. And don't get me wrong, all of the pairs that I've been holding on to, they all played out in the end. They took a week to do it, right? So if I started the trade Monday, they played out the Friday. But guess what? I had a whole week of holding major drawdown, cutting losses on some and stuff like that, when there were other currency pairs that set up and played out, you know, in one day, in a few hours and stuff like that. So that's why it's key for you guys to understand, right? And to make mental notes, to make notes in your notepads, to make sticky notes. Do what you must to remind yourself to cut losing trades, right? Because guess what? You might lose $1 with a small account. You might lose $1.03. You may even lose $40 out to the 50, right? Because I recommend persons to top up 50 less. So you may even lose $40 out to the 50. But guess what, right? You can bounce back from something, right? Rather than having to try to bounce back from nothing. It happens all the time, right? I trade in a small account with the team so that I can show them how to build a small account up. And I started that small account as well with $50. And last week, I also went into the trades with that small account. And that account went down to like $13, $14, right? By Wednesday, it was like 14, yeah, about $14 or $19 thereabouts. By Friday, the account was back at $100. So it's more than what I started with, right? And why? Because with the small account, I cut the losing trades. and then opportunities set up between Thursday and Friday that allow me to double the account, well, triple the account if we're talking about moving from Wednesday from $19 to Friday with $100, right? I did not risk big in that account, nothing. I actually kept the risk low, and all I did was that I held the winning trades. And that's key for you guys. I want you guys to make sure that you make note of that. So one thing that's going to also help you in your trading is sticky notes. You heard Kamar come up about it. Trust me, it helps. Because 90% of trading is psychology. 90%. If your mind is not in the right place, it's going to affect your trading. If you're stressed out, it's going to affect your trading. If you can't be bothered, it's going to affect your trading. If you speak negative into the week, it's going to affect your trading. Right? I had a student up to yesterday saying, man, this thing like this, I just can't get this here, do this thing like in for me. If you speak that, then guess what? You're never going to see opportunities, setups, growth, movement, because you already telling your mind that this is not for you. So every time something looks like, is not working out, the first thing your mind is going to do is give up, because you're telling yourself, or you start to tell yourself that this, like, it isn't for me. I'm not saying that trading is for everybody. Trading isn't for everybody. I have a ton of friends in my circle, and they know that trading ain't for half of them, because everybody's skilled in different areas. Some people not technologically savvy. Some people better with their hands and stuff like that. Trading presents an opportunity that everybody can trade, yes, but everybody doesn't have the same type of patience, and everybody is not driven to think, when it comes to technology and stuff like that. Something like this may not pique the interest of some people. Getting their hands dirty and stuff like that in terms of doing mechanics or doing other service jobs might be something that pique their interest. And that's just something that you have to know for yourself as well. Right? But if you come in to do trading, it's all in or nothing. That's what I tell people. If you've made a decision to start trading, it is all in or nothing. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. It ain't gonna work. Right? I started trading 3 years ago. I knew nothing about trading. Nothing. I was in the UK, living by myself. I was miserable because everybody was posting it on Facebook and IG. I live where you vacate, but I in England and I am vacationing in Barbados now. So I was miserable, right? I had nothing really. I was just working a job, just finished graduating from university, and I was just working a 9 to 5. I wanted to move back to Barbados, but I had no plan on how I was gonna do it. But every single year when I write my 1 to 3 year goals, best believe that return to Barbados was always on my goals. And I have all of them still saved in my phone. And if you look through all of my goals from 2014 right up until 2018, you would have seen that each and every one of them had returned to Barbados, but I didn't know what was going to be my escape plan. Right? No, I was introduced to trading just like you, but my first year in trading, I lost a lot of money. A lot of money, right? I probably lost over 50,000 pounds worth of money because they keep pouring in and pouring in and risking and risking and risking and risking and risking, right? I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have an SCA. I didn't have mentorship. I didn't have anybody to hold my hand. I basically went out there and I trial and error and trial and error and trial and error and trial and error, right? Lost money, deposited again, lose more, deposited again, lose more. There's some people that ain't willing to give it that amount of trades. That's the truth. There's some people that ain't willing to do what I did. Some people ain't even willing to deposit the amount that I deposited. That's the truth. Some people don't have that type of perseverance. They would have done give up already. Right? But it started to change for me in my second year of training. How? I decided to become a coach. So for everything that I learned and I felt like I conquered, I help a beginner. And what that did for me was that it allowed me to learn it twice. So as I teach it, I learn in it too. So it's like I helping people who may have been on my level, right? Or started where I started. And that's how I was able to build up and build up and build up. And one day decided, you know, I can make this a brand. Coach Care can become a brand. Why? Because what I didn't have in the beginning, I want to offer to people. And that's a mentor to hold your hand, a mentor that has been in your same exact position, right? That just need direction. You, the student, needing direction. Because all of this information is available online. That's the truth. All. The majors, the minors, all are available online. Right? But what's not available online is somebody teaching it and motivating you not to give up. Right? Somebody breaking it down to you. Also meeting you on a personal level. Right? Somebody literally holding your hand through the entire journey. You can have online classes online. You can learn anything on YouTube. Right? But the mentorship is missing. And that's where SCA comes in. So back to today, with this topic, you have the 7 majors and minor peers. From here now, we're gonna move into what you know as rates, right? Now, you know when you're going to a bank, you see a rate on the board, right? Let's say for Euro USD, you know, let me actually pull up some rates for you guys. Let's get some live rates here. Let's look at it together. I'm gonna share my screen shortly. Right. So everybody can see my screen with the live exchange rates. Just type in the chat if you can see my screen with the live exchange rates. Perfect, thank you. Right. So when you go into a bank, this is what you tend to see, right? The only thing is that these numbers usually are moving quite fast. So it's not paused like this. They're moving fast, they're ever changing instead of the bank. And you right now, you know it as, you know, you taking your Barbadian dollars and exchanging it for any of these currencies here. Right? But one thing I want us to make note of is that the standard currency, right? So going back to my whiteboard now. Right, there we go. So the standard currency pair, or I should say the most currency pairs, have 5 numbers after the decimal point. So it will go something like this. All right. I'm just making up some numbers here, guys. Let me get one for this. Good. So most currency pairs have 5 numbers after the decimal point, right? For their price, right? Except for the Japanese yen. right? There are a few others too. There's the Japanese yen and there's the metals, but I didn't go through metals as yet. Metals being gold and silver. Outside of that, everything else have 5 numbers after the decimal point. Right? So make sure you make note of that. Most currency pairs, excluding Japanese yen and metals, have 5 numbers after the decimal point. Right? In order to identify your price points. Right? Japanese yen, gold, and silver, the metals, they have 3 numbers after the decimal point. So even like you see it here with USD JPY, Euro JPY also gonna have 3 numbers after the decimal point. GBP JPY same thing, AUD JPY, NZD JPY, CAD JPY, Chef JPY, all of those will have 3 numbers after the decimal point. Right? So this format represents the price points for the pairs. Right? So let me just go over to my chart. Let's get it a bit exciting now. Let me go over to my chart. Right, there we go. So we are looking at the price points for these pairs, and you can see them here. They're often quite moving. They move quickly, just like the banks. This is how it looks like on your, when you go into First Caribbean or First Citizens or anything, and they show you the currencies in the background. The numbers are often moving like this. Why are the numbers often moving like this? Because price fluctuates 24/5. I'm going to repeat that again. Price fluctuates 24/5. Right? So the Forex market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Right? The Forex market opens 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Right? When does it close? It closes Friday at 5 p.m. When does it open? It opens Sunday at 5 p.m. I'm going to repeat that again. It closes Friday at 5 p.m. and it opens Sunday at 5 p.m. Right? So price is always fluctuating 24/5. Right? It's always fluctuating 24/5. No, price makes 2 movements, right? The 2 movements are either up or down, right? There is a third movement. We're going to get into it, but the major movements that price makes is up or down, right? So it's either it is going up or is coming down. So if you recognize that the number moved from 69 to 39, then you know that price dropped. If you recognize that the number moved from 69 to 99, then you know that price went up. Right? So just to give you guys an example, I talked about, just now I talked about a trade that I wanted to send out to the team, right? And I know you won't be able to understand this as yet, but just to give you an example, if you're looking at this candle right here, right? I want you to notice the teal line, right? Now, at one point in time, that teal dotted line was lower, and you can see it actually going up now, right? So price is moving up. I sent out in the Telegram a buy trade, so a trade expecting this currency USD chef to buy, right? So we expect this currency to buy, so we're going to send out a trade for a buy, right? And what that means is that I expect for this teal dotted line to eventually get up to new heights than where it is right now. All right? So price either goes up or it comes down. Right? Now, price moves like the human body. Right? And I need to say this for some persons who may be wondering, but coach, I just saw the teal line was up here, I know it came down, right? Price moves like the human body, right? Price, the market basically inhales and exhales, right? It inhales and exhales. So you will never see price just constantly selling without at least taking a break to breathe again before it continues some more. And that is key for everybody to know, right? Price inhales and exhales. It moves like the human body. Right? But the whole thing about trading is that you must exercise patience. So if you're one of those persons on this call and using my patience thing, I tell you right now, the market is going to humble you. So if you don't know about patience, learn patience. Learn patience. And if you don't know to learn patience, I'm sure the market will teach you it. The market will teach you how to be patient. Because some of these moves take long to happen, right? Some of these moves don't happen in a day. Like, for example, the market just opened yesterday. We talked about the market opening hours. Market opened yesterday at 5 o'clock, right? So how it works when the market opens is like starting your car after being on lockdown for 3-4 weeks, right? is going to start slow. You can get cold start, right? And then it can catch. And then it's going to take a while before, you know, the car can then move at the same level or energy or the same way it was moving before lockdown. That's how the market starts. So Sunday and Monday, the market is slow. So yes, I expect a movement on this trade to the upside. Will we get there today? Probably by tonight, you know, but momentum will be slow. Right? Momentum will be slow. +2 is a bank holiday. Right? A lot of countries currently have a bank holiday today. Right? On bank holidays, the markets also move slow. Right? So we have the two major movements of price, which is up and down. Right? We know that price genuinely tends to move between Sundays and Fridays, 4 or 5. Right? Now, each of the Forex pairs we also know are measured by a specific price point, right? But they're constantly moving. So I can say for sure that when you enter the market, you're gonna get 0.96175. When I enter the market, I might get 0.96175, but when you enter, you might get 0.96172 because the market is constantly moving. Right? So what we're gonna do with the prices that I will have given you is identify what they mean, right? It's not just a rate, it's not just a price. It is a lot more to that, right? Now, understanding how prices work will help you to determine how much money you're gonna make in the market, right? You know, where you want to come out of the market at and stuff like that. You may have heard persons mention, you know, maybe on social media or your friends that are already trading about pips, right? When persons talk about, you know, I just gained 50 pips or I just gained this. So this is pips, right? Is like recognizing time, right? Time is defined by hours, minutes, and seconds, right? Price points in the market is defined by pips, right? Pips is basically the price point that you see. I am not going to go into deep detail, but enough for you guys to understand. And Kamara would have given you guys also a link to some information that if you wanted to, in your own time, to just read upon with baby pips, then you can do that as well. It's not mandatory, but it will help you in terms of reinforcing some of the information that I would have went through today. All right, so pips. So let me come here. Let's do it from text big. All right, so let's take one price point. Right? 1.32175. Now, we talked about the market making two movements. Either it goes up or it comes down, right? Those are the main two movements. The market can also move sideways as well, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So when you enter a market, right, if you are looking for the market to buy, means that these numbers should increase because we're looking for the market to go up, right? If we're looking for the market to sell, means that these numbers should decrease because we're looking for the market to go down. Right? Now, in working out pips, right? The pip in price is the fourth number after the decimal point. It's all going to come together, guys. Even if the information feel like bits of information right now, right? Don't worry, this is only day one. Trust me, it's going to come together, right? So the fourth number after the decimal point is referred to as the pip. Right? So when we are looking to trade, we are heavily focused on how many pips we want to gain from the market, right? When we are trading, we want to focus on gain and we want to focus on loss. Two things that we need to focus on. Why? Because we need to know if this trade goes in our favor, what am I looking to gain? How much am I looking to gain in the market? If it goes against me, how much am I willing to lose before I cut my losses? All right? And it's all measured through pips. It is through pips. Right? So when there's 5 numbers after the decimal point, your pip is the 4th number. If persons are talking about, or if you ever hear me talk about a pip count that is a single digit, you're focused on the 4th number after the decimal point. If I talk about a pip count that is a double digit, then you're moving to the left, never to the right, all right? So look at the 5th number as, you know, when you're in primary school and the teacher will always tell you, you know, drop the last number, right? So in other words, as if the last number doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't matter, right? So this is what I mean, you're always moving to the left. So the 5 in this case, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't matter, right? So if I had to look, if I was looking for a double-digit pip count, I am going to use the 3rd and 4th number after the decimal point. If I'm looking for a triple-digit pip count, I'm going for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th number after the decimal point. Right? With the Japanese yen, the pip is the 2nd number, right? after the decimal point. I just did it backwards, but you guys know what I mean, right? In terms of fourth after the decimal point, fifth is the second number after the decimal point, you get the drift, right? So the pip is the second number after the decimal point. So the third number, it doesn't matter, right? So if we're looking for single digit pip count, we're using the second number. If we're looking for a double digit pip count, we're using the first and second number. If we're looking at triple digit pip counts, we'll be using the first number before the decimal point, the first number after the decimal point, and the second number after decimal point. So just quickly, I want everybody in the chat right now, right? Tell me what currency pairs usually tend to have 3 numbers after the decimal point. I want you to write it in the chat box. I see who's following me. Good. What else? It's not only Japanese yen. That's right. Good. There we go. Right? So outside of the Japanese yen, you know that every other pair has 5 numbers after the decimal point. All right. Good. So when we are buying or when we are looking to buy any trade, let's say it's the same trade that I just sent up to the team, right? So the trade that I just sent up to the team, which would have been USD chef buy, right? Let's say that the 132.175, sorry, was our entry point. So when we click buy, this is the price we locked in, right? Because remember I told you, when you enter the market, you may get a slightly different price than when they enter the market. Right? So let's say you enter the market, right? So let's say we're looking to buy USD chef, right? And we entered roughly at 132.175. Means that we're looking to gain, we're looking for the market to go up, right? Now, if we are doing it based on pip count, right? So if I say, okay, well, daily I want to achieve 50 pips. I want to achieve, my daily goal is 50 pips in any trade that I am trading, right? 50 is obviously a double digit. So I just want you to tell me in the chat box, what 2 numbers after the decimal point would I be using to add my 50 to? What 2 numbers after the decimal point would I be using to add my 50 pips to? Good. That is correct. So the third and fourth number after the decimal point. Right? So if I am aiming for 50 pips, I am adding 50 right? I'm adding 50 to my third and fourth number. No, when you're adding 50 pips, remember I was talking about in school, the teacher would tell you sometimes you don't bring down the last number, right? Especially if it is a 0 under it or what's not. It works the same way here. So yes, the 50 pips is the third and fourth, but like I said, the fifth number doesn't really matter. So it always needs to be brought down. But it's not, you're not using it for your calculations. So if you're doing 50, just add an extra 0. If you're doing 45 pips, add a 0 at the end. So it works out to be 500 or 450. Right? So you always add a 0 at the end just to remind yourself that fifth number after the decimal point. Right? So you will always add a 0 at the end so that you can bring down or remind yourself to bring down the last number after the decimal point. Everybody following me so far? Am I moving too quickly? Anything you need to repeat? We good? Okay, perfect. Lovely. Awesome. Good. So we're looking to gain 50 pips. This point works out to be a 132, right? 6, 7, 5. 132, 6, 7, 5. So this is the price point that we're aiming to come out of the market at because it gives us our 50 pips. This price point is known as your take profit. Why? Just as it says, it is the price you want to take your profit and come out of the market. Right? So this price point is known as your take profit. Now, when you're entering a trade, you need to know your entry point so that you can work out your take profit. But also you want to know how much you're going to be risking. If the trade had to go against you, how much you'll be risking, right? So you'll know where to cut your losses, right? And you should always try to risk less and gain more, right? So your risk should always be less than your gain. So if in this case we're looking to gain 50 pips, then your risk could be 30 pips or 35 pips, right? And we're buying the trade, so we're looking at gaining 50 pips, meaning that we have to add 50 pips to our entry point. But if the trade is going against us, and we need to work out our risk, right? Let's say in this case, our risk is 30 pips. What am I doing to the 30 pips and the price point? So when we're gaining, we're buying the trade, when we were working up the 50 pips, we had to add 50 pips to the price point because we're buying. But if the trade goes against us, means that the trade will then be selling, right? So risking, when it comes to risk, we're basically saying at this price point, if it continues to sell, this is the price point I want to come out to the market at. Therefore, to work up my risk, I will need to subtract, you're correct, subtract the pips from my entry point, right? In this case, I said 30, right? So all you will do from here, again, you make the 3,300. You make the 3,300. I'm gonna put somebody on the spot right now. And Danielle, please tell me, I know you're a mathematician. Please tell me what our new price point will be. If we're taking 30 pips from the 132, the 1.32175. Danielle? Okay, understood. All right, no worries. So our new price point works out to be so let me actually put it below the take profit. So our new price point works out to be 131,875, right? And this number is called our stop loss. All right, this is called our stop loss. So the amount we're looking to risk, the price point that we're saying we want to exit the market if it goes against us, is called our stop loss. And the price point we want to exit the market if it's going in our favor is called our take profit, right? So stop loss is just as it says, right? It's a price point that you place on your trade to stop you from losing more than you're willing to risk. All right. So when you're trading, you need three things. You need an entry, a take profit, a stop loss. Three things you need when you're trading. An entry, a take profit, and a stop loss. Everybody with me? Me following? Any questions? Do you need me to repeat? Am I going too fast? Okay. No, I can be honest with you. All of this is the theory side, you know. It's like when you know starting a course, or let's say, you know, going to school and you're starting home ec, right? Or you're learning how to cook, but before you can actually get to the kitchen, you have to sit down in class and write down the features and benefits of turmeric, ginger, garlic, all the things that you don't really want to do, but you have to do anyway, just for general knowledge. Same thing with trading. So all the information that I am running through right now is basically the theory side, general knowledge. right? That you'll need to know before we can get to the fun stuff, which is the chart. You can shoot your question, Roger. If you want to unmute, you can go right ahead and do that as well.
Hi. I wanted to know
Yes.
if it is that the take profit and the stop loss are supposed to be balanced, or if it is that, like, okay, so we were looking at plus 50 and plus 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were those individual to each part, or it is that if you want to take profit at 30, you have to stop loss at 30?
Well, they're individual, but like I mentioned, try to risk less than you want to gain.
Okay,
So the risk to reward is what is actually called. So your risk should actually be lower than your gain.
Okay.
Right? But there are some cases though that some trades persons tend to do a one-to-one risk to reward, and what that means is that, you know, the risk might be 50 pips and the gain is 50 pips, though it is not ideal, right? There are some cases your risk and your gain could be the same amount.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. So everybody should know the 3 important things you need when you're about to enter the market, when you're about to trade. You need the entry price, you need to take profit, and you need a stop loss. Right? Those are the 3 things you need when trading. Now, I am not going to go into more detail on this right now. We're going to stop here and start the process of creating a broker account. So Wednesday's class would be me going through this, the stop loss, the take profit, working it out for a sell, working it out for a buy, and so on, in more detail. We'll do some practice questions on it as well, so that I can ensure that you guys truly understand how to work it out, right? And then from there, we're gonna move into the fun stuff, right? But right now, we're going to go in and start the process of broker account. Why? Because with a broker, right, when you're registering for your broker, you need a proof of address and a proof of ID. So the proof of address would be a bill in your name, credit card, you know, utility bill, right? Bank statement. And the proof of ID could be your Barbados national ID, driver's license, or passport. They must be valid. All right. The proof of address must be within the last 3 months. So when you submit this documentation to the broker, sometimes it takes the broker about 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours to approve you. Why? Because they need to make sure that you are not on the blacklist, right? I would call it that. Basically, to make sure that you know that you're not, you know, would not have participated in any fraud and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of them protecting themselves and so on, right? So yes, who don't want to do their passport, because I know there's some people who feel a bit uneasy sending their passport information to an online broker. You can use your Barbados national ID or your driver's license. Both needs to be in date. No, you cannot use a driver's license card that is expired and you have a receipt to show, right? It's not gonna work, right? So it must be in date or up to date on your card, okay? So if you don't have a proof of address, because sometimes we do have persons who may, may be living at home, but probably not paying any bills or having any bills come to the house in their name and stuff like that. That's fine. We have a broker for you, right? So the broker that I recommend first, basically, is IC Markets. So I highly recommend IC Markets, and I equally recommend Pepperstone. They differ though. Both of them are based in Australia. One does withdrawals, Visa card withdrawals, meaning that if I have to withdraw from back to my card, that it'll be a Visa withdrawal. They get hit, sometimes in one business day, 2 at max. The other does wire transfer. Doesn't take long with that either. So I know that, for example, Davion uses Pepperstone, and his wire transfer takes up to 3 days. So both relatively have, around the same wait period. You might just have to wait one more day. All right. IC Market do withdrawals and deposits with PayPal and different and some other mediums. Pepperstone mainly focuses on bank transfer, wire transfer kind of situation, right? Both of them have 24-hour support. Both of them have. I should become an affiliate for these brokers. I'd be promoting them. Wow. But both of them have 24-hour support. Online and IC Markets actually give you 24-hour support via WhatsApp. So if you have to go on to icmarkets.com, you can actually click support, and it carries you to a WhatsApp chat, and you can actually type to them there. The service is great. I've never had any issues with them. I get my money quick, so it's not an issue. Then withdrawing, obviously as a broker, they may take a bit of commission from the amount. My first withdrawal, I can't remember an amount coming out, but it's very small. It's a very small fee. Kamar was saying, Kamar, you have workout percentage.
No, I didn't work out on IC properly. I'll check what.
Okay.
On Pepperstone is around 10%.
10%.
When it hits your withdrawal, when it hits your bank account, 10% is taken out. I'm not sure if it goes to IC Market or the bank. Maybe the Pepperstone bank, but it's 10% out.
Right.
Right, that's for your wires.
Right, that's for the wire transfer. Right. But when they're doing Visa, IC Markets, when they did a Visa transfer, I literally got exactly what it is a withdrawal. So that could be because it was just a Visa withdrawal, right? And not a wire transfer itself. Right, so let's head over to IC Markets. Right, this is the broker here. And I'm going to walk you through a bit of it. I won't be able to actually register again myself, because last time I did that for a class, IC Markets literally sent me a message saying, "Hi, Miss Williams, you you know, have 3 accounts with us. So, wait, hang on, let me go back there. Great. So you're gonna click register, which is actually start trading is what you're gonna click, right? Start trading. So before you actually move on, I want to make sure that everybody does this now. While I'm here, because I know sometimes they can ask questions and stuff like that. So while I'm here, I'll be able to walk you through the entire sign up process. Right? So make sure that you're doing this with me now. And you're going to click start trading and it's going to bring you to this page. Now I'm going to ask one person after you finish completing this form, right? To unmute your mic, click next and walk me through what's the next page because I don't want to sign up again, right? So that I can then guide everybody accordingly with what is there. So one person can just volunteer themselves to walk me through the next steps after you click next, so that I can tell you guys what to put as well. That's okay, Chantel. Who will volunteer themselves so that I could help walk through the process with everybody? Okay. Anyone gonna volunteer themselves? Anyone who doesn't have an account with a trading account already?
All right. On the second page, it asking choose my type of account, individual, joint, or corporate.
Right. So it's individual.
Then it asks my birthday, first, any month, and then year. Then it asks for my address. City. Yeah, so the city. Then it asks for a fund account and well, sorry, it asks postal zip code.
Right.
Then it got an option. No, it was saying I was referred by an
So
introducing
you would
broker.
leave that blank.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
I need a zip code.
Where is your general area?
St. Michael.
So
Black
just
Rock.
okay, Black Rock, St. Michael. You could use BB 12013.
12013.
Yeah.
All right. Choose trading platform.
And MetaTrader 4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Choose account type, standard account or raw spread.
Standard.
Standard account.
Mm-hmm.
The select account based currency. Leave it at US.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't need to receive newsletter and special offers, right?
No, if you want to.
Okay. Next. What is your first trading experience? Beginner. Security questions and answers. Okay. Right. Declaration. That's that declaration. Submit. Right, loading up. Upload documents.
Right. So
yeah, that part.
Right. So with the uploading of documents, you guys gonna need to just take a picture of front and back of your ID, as well as a picture of your proof of address. Must show the full A4 page of your proof of address and not just the little cut of your name and address on it, right? So it must be a full A4 page. So the proof of ID more or less will be front and back, right? What you could do if you have to do that now, you could take the picture and then log back into IC Markets using your phone and upload it that way if that makes it easier, or you can email it to yourself and transfer it that way.
All right.
Right, so everybody should be good there, no? Everybody is good with that, with IC Markets? Those who are using IC Markets? Yeah? All right, so over to Pepper Stone, right? So for those who want a Pepper Stone account, Pepper Stone allows you to, the reason why you would go for Pepper Stone is that if you don't have a proof of address, right? Pepper Stone allows you to just upload 2 proofs of ID, right? So Pepper Stone allows you to upload 2 proofs of ID if you don't have a proof of address. So in a case like that, majority of the time it would be your passport and driver's license. They will state it on there as well. Passport and driver's license. That you would use for Pepper Stone. Right? So with Pepper Stone, you're gonna click open live account. And I know for sure Pepper Stone has a test that you have to do. So those who are registering with Pepper Stone, I'll need somebody again to unmute the mic and tell me what they see, so that I can help you through the test, because Pepper Stone has a test. I don't want you to try to complete any of Pepper Stone questions, even when they ask about income claims and how much money you have in your savings and how much income you have. So I don't want you to do that by yourself, because what Pepper Stone does, all right, is that if you're under a certain income bracket, or you're under a certain savings bracket, they literally will tell you at this time we don't think that, you know, that blah 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 your money with trading is risky, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So they actually tell you that. So as I was saying, so anybody that is signing up with Pepper Stone right now to help the others go through the process, just unmute the mic and walk me through what you're seeing. Starting with this page, as soon as you click register, you can just unmute your mic and let's go through the process together. Anyone signing up with Pepper Stone? Okay. Anyone else signing up with Pepper Stone? If not, then I will just move on. Anyone else signing up with Pepper Stone?
Good afternoon. I want to sign up with Pepper Stone, but I don't have all the documents that I don't have the passport on me right now. I have to get it to sign up. But my question is, I don't have a proof of address. Reason being, my bills come in my father's name. The only thing I get is a bank statement, but I get that every 6 months. I had tried signing up with one of the thing, but they did not accept the bank statement for whatever reason. They don't know. So I think the best one for me then would be Pepperstone. So I just want to know if when I get my full documents, if I will be able to still contact you to walk me through the system for the Pepperstone.
Yeah, sure. We could do it after today.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so good. So just to recap, so we're gonna just go through a bit of a recap now before we close today's boot camp session. This is the first time I want to say to you guys, this is the first time that we actually doing a boot camp. Where we held a session for 3 hours. I never thought I would do this session, but you know, I thought that because it's a bank holiday, it would be a good time to utilize the time to actually start the productivity. 3 hours is good time to really get the ground going with Forex, and using this to actually get you guys to, you know, start trading sooner, even if it's just with a demo account until you feel comfortable to go live, right? So that's why I did this session. This session is not because I just usually do 3-hour sessions, because no, you don't, right? Majority of our classes run between an hour and an hour and a half. However, we did this bootcamp session because we wanted to help you as beginners basically get the ground going, right? So we want to get the ground going, and so that you guys can then actually start to trade live sooner than later. Right? So just to recap today, right? Just to recap today, the first thing I'm going to say is trading involves emotion, but try to remove your emotion and move with strategy, right? I have to say that because I want you guys to remember that, right? I also want you guys to start using sticky notes. If you don't use them right away, you would recognize how they help. Like my bedroom right now, I have sticky notes on my mirror and stuff like that. And you could use sticky notes, not necessarily for trading and all, right? I use sticky notes as an affirmation. So things that I want to declare. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna achieve this. This is my goal for this month. I put them in areas that I spend time. So in front of the mirror and stuff like that. So that when I go there, I'm reminding myself of my goal this month. Because I ain't to, you know, feel deflated, drop off, lose my momentum. I must stay on target. Right? I must stay on target. So if your goal this month was to start with $50 and see if you can move it to $100, write down on your sticky note and put it in front of you. It helps. Trust me. Any sticky notes, I always talk about sticky notes, right? So guys, so we talked about Forex, the exchange of currencies. We talked about, you know, the Forex peers. We talked about 2 types of peers that you tend to have. You have major peers and you have minor peers, right? Minor peers, there are 7 major pairs. There are 7 major pairs, and they're made up of Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, USD CAD, USD Chef, and USD Japanese Yen. There are 7 major currencies, right? Currency pairs. There are 21 major minor currency pairs. There are 21 minor currency pairs, and the minors are really the major currencies paired with each other, excluding the US dollar. All right, so we would have went through how to sort those pairs out. USD ZAR is an exotic. The reason why I have not mentioned exotic pairs is because right now, especially given the pandemic and so on, the exotic pairs are not really being traded, and that's because they're not really having as good as a movement as we'd like. So that's why they mention them, right? So good question, Amanda. USD ZAR, for those who see in the chat, is part of a group called exotic currencies, exotic pairs. And exotic pairs are usually currencies from developing countries. So like Mexico for Mexican peso. You have Singapore dollar. You have Turkish lira. And ZAR, which is what Amanda mentioned, would be South African rand. All right. These pairs are not traded a lot. Your broker does give you access to them. They're very volatile, means that they move without any structure. Sometimes they can spike up and down in any direction. And that's because, again, they're not traded a lot, right? So, but they can pay out really well. Really well. If you get a good position on them, they can pay out well. You can also lose a lot on them as well, right? So there's always a plus and minus on it, right? So positive and negative with the exotic pairs. But we will get to exotic pairs. We will start to talk about exotic pairs when, you know, the world starts to shape better in handling the pandemic, which will allow the economies to start to thrive again, which will then make movement in a lot of these pairs. Because right now with the pandemic, a lot of persons, I see persons on Twitter and stuff saying, you know, these forex traders really gotta be holding a hit with the pandemic. No, we're not as such, right? A lot of trades are moving sideways, yes, but you can still, the beauty about forex is that you can leverage any direction that the trades are going, right? So if currencies literally dropping, you could sell and make money with that. If currencies going up, you can buy and make money with that. If currencies basically moving sideways, you could also make money in between that sideways movement. So, and that's the beauty of forex compared to stock markets, compared to real estate and stuff like that. You know, when it comes to pandemic or economic crisis, you know, the stock markets, they usually drop or they close. Real estate, you know, it drops as well. A lot of things happen when it comes to those types of things, but the forex market still presents you with an opportunity for you to the forex markets presents an opportunity for you to make money, right? So we talked about minor pairs. We talked about pips, and we know that most currency pairs have 5 numbers after the decimal point, excluding the Japanese yen and metals, who have 3 numbers after the decimal point, right? So we went into a bit of detail of how to work out the concept we're trading. But most importantly, we know that if we're entering a trade, we need three things. We need an entry price, right? We need a stop loss, and we need a take profit, right? Outside of that, we started to sign up to our brokers. The brokers that I recommend, again, is AC Markets and Pepperstone. You'll need to follow through the process in terms of uploading your documents on AC Markets. With Pepperstone, I'm happy to do it, probably in the next class or so. Please do not try to attempt Pepperstone on your own, because if they decline you of giving you an account, then that's it, right? So, so it's best for us to run through Pepperstone together, that I can tell you exactly what to use in the sign up process, right? So I just want a few words in the chat box. Just tell me briefly what you think about today's session. Did you learn anything? Just a bit of feedback. Anything you need me to run over in the next class, go through again. Any questions, anything? So it could be feedback, it could be questions, or it could be you telling me you want me to repeat some stuff in the next class. Just utilize the chat box before we close today's session. Perfect. Anyone else? Lovely. Good. So I just want to make sure that you guys are coming out of the class with something. You should come out to every class with something, right? It's not always going to be so much information like this, like today. I usually look forward to getting past the first day of all of this theory side of things so that we can get to the fun stuff on the chart, right? But as I say, it's critical for me to run through this first. Good. Excellent. So if there's nothing else, if there are no questions, I'm going to thank you all for joining me, myself, Kamar, and Davion today. Thank you, Kamar, for starting off the call. Davion for coming and share his experience in trading. Davion is a good student, right? He came on and he literally took off, right? He left nothing on the table, right? Davion told you that he went to 300, but he actually went to more than that. And just starting off with a $25 account. So he took the 25 to 50, the 50 to 300, and then the 300 to beyond, right? So Davion is a good student, and I would like majority of the persons who come, if not everybody, who come in FCA or come through FCA, right? At least be able to come out with something like that. I want you to come out profitable, not only profitable in terms of making money, but profitable in terms of your knowledge. I want you to come away with good knowledge that you could apply and use as part of your journey of becoming a trader on the charts, right? So, so guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us today here at FCA. The next class will be Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in class on time, taking notes. Remember to have a notepad dedicated to trading. So if you didn't have that today, see if you can, you know, do a bit of shopping maybe tomorrow or Wednesday during the day to get a notepad that is solely dedicated to trading. I don't like to see when persons doing trading and they're using a notepad maybe that they have from UE or something they were, you know, thinking before, and they start their notes in the middle of that book, right? That doesn't help you in terms of being very organized when trading is concerned, right? Because you will always see it. Kamar would have told me this already as well. I don't know if he mentioned it to you guys. When you making notes, especially in trading, you should make detailed notes that, you know, anybody who comes and read your notes can actually follow on with what it is you guys would have written down. You know, God forbid you had to lose your memory and it came back, you could actually read through your notes and actually pick up, you know, the pieces and continue the journey. That's how notes should be. They should be that detailed that you can read through them and learn it all over again, basically. All right? So that is why it's key, especially for trading, for you to be very, very organized when it comes to note taking. All right, so guys, that's it for today. I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a good afternoon.